What's up guys, Dan Inman here. I got another motovlog for you. This is a night one this time. I don't know if that's better or worse. But yeah, I got my winter tires on, my ATV Sandstars. I'm gonna go hit the snowmobile trails some, see if we can see any sleds. So I got a topic to talk about on the way there, because it's usually a pretty long, boring ride, but I figured bring you guys along. Got a pretty good topic to talk about. Actually, the first time I ever used these ITPs in the snow, and they work really good. So yeah, they work good. You can see I'll go through some powder here. About 1.5 feet we got. And they don't rattle too much either. Only a little tiny bit more than stock. So yeah, I thought I'd talk about, just like 400EX Boy did, or Billy did, and about what I did, what I rode, and what I had before the 450 and the XR50 and my Toyota truck. I started riding up here. This is our family cabin. And this is really the only place I've ever ridden besides when we go on trips. So I grew up, I started on that 50 that I made my first video of. It was completely stock. My dad got it for me. I was real happy I got that. I rode that for a while. Learned to ride on it. My cousin, Ian Schaefer, who was in my last video, he had a XR50, I think it was I had an XR50. He had a what was it called? Z50, before the XR50. And whoa, yeah, he had that. And we rode together a lot. Then I got a brand new in 2007. My mom and dad got me and my brother. It was for me, but my brother rides it now. I had the 07 CRF 70, brand new. I've been riding that. I rode that a lot more than I ever rode the 50. That's when I really started to get into riding. And rode that for a while, for years actually. Rode my uncle's. My uncle had a collection of old classic Hondas. I rode a couple of them. And then my dad in 2011 bought the Rancher 420 IRS, nice quad. I rode that. That's what really got me stuck on four-wheelers rather than dirt bikes, because I could ride them in the snow. In the spring of 2012, I believe, I bought, or my cousin bought rather, same one I've been talking about. They sold his 50 and he bought a TTR 125. Yeah, I think it was an 01 model. And he got that. I really liked the power of that. I know it didn't have much power, but compared to everything I had ridden, it was fast. Because I hadn't really ridden anything else. So he got that. And I rode that, and my dad I told my dad I wanted a bigger dirt bike. So we found a 2009 CRF 150 on Craigslist, and this was 2012, I believe. And we went and got it. I forget how much it cost now, but I got stuck with that. I rode that thing. I loved that thing. It was fast enough for what I needed. I put a set of handguards on it. That was it. Just rode it. Had a lot of fun with that. And then in the winter of last year, or the fall of last year, I really got into riding. I rode the 150 right up until I couldn't anymore when we had snow like this. I started riding a Rancher, which I thought was fine, but I wanted a sport quad. I always looked at 400EXs on Craigslist and thought, man, they look like fun. And I looked at that, and we went and looked at one. It was a 2000 400EX. It was nice, but the guy wanted $1,800 for it, and my dad and uncle thought that was too much money. So we passed on that one. It was right around finals for me at school, and we decided not to get that one. We went up right before our first final. Me and my dad found a, I believe it was a 2005 TRX 400EX. It was reverse. It was yellow, and it was almost completely stock. It had a set of whole shot rear tires, and it came with these stand stars. It had originally came from PA, or from, not PA, what am I saying? Originally came from California. And the reason I'm not going fast here, guys, is I got the paddle tires on, and I don't really want to hose them up going too fast in the on the dirt roads. So yeah, I got those. Or I got 400EX. I rode it all winter. I loved it. I rode it in the winter. Some snowstorms. It was great. Look at this. Look at this. The guy, there's a house not far up there, and he puts a Christmas tree up there, which I think is awesome. Runs it to the house. So there you go. You can see that. And so I rode that. I didn't put many parts on it. I put this DG bumper on it that I took off before I sold it. It had a set of Renthal handlebars, and that was it, really. And I got to the spring, and I started to ride it when there wasn't snow, and it was fun. But honestly, I wanted something with a cooler sound, because it was stock exhaust, obviously. I wanted something with a little bit more power. So we went to the shop, and I looked at the exhaust. I looked at FMF and an HMF pipe for it. And then me and my dad were talking, and we found out that we decided that we'd try to sell my 400EX for pretty cheap, and then we would try to get a 450 like this. So we put the 400EX on Craigslist right before I had to leave for a trip to North Dakota with my grandparents. So my dad said he would sell it if anybody called. And it was listed for $2,500, and I bought it for $2,000. Rode it for 6 months, and then tried to sell it. If you guys recognize it, this is my grandfather's camp where I'm usually making my videos from, is up there. And this is the road that we were on last weekend. I didn't have the paddle tires on last weekend either. But there's a tree across the trail like you saw in the video, so we're not going to go up there. We're going to go to the snowmobile trails that I didn't make in the video that we hit last weekend. But we got a little bit more snow this week, so I'm hoping these tires will help me out. So yeah, we sold. My dad called me when I was in North Dakota, and he said, "Hey, I sold your 400EX, $2,500, like you wanted." And when we get back, and I immediately after he said that went on Craigslist in our area. Here's a snowmobile trail. I went on Craigslist in our area and found this 450 and a red one. The red one was an 06, and it had a set of Nerf bars in that, but pretty stock. And this one's an 07. That was all stock. And I gave my dad both the numbers, and he called about both of them. And the red one was sold. It just sold. And the white one hadn't sold. It was in Virginia, which is pretty far from our house in York. So I got home. I was really excited. My dad had my money there. And we went to Virginia, Chantilly, Virginia, and picked it up, and that was it. I got it and started riding it and modifying it. That was in July, and July 1st we got it, and I guess the rest is history. But man, it's getting cold out here. I'm gonna have to put my face shield or my face cover up. It's gonna mess up the sound a little bit.